Welcome to the Agoura Hills Regular City Council and Reorganization Meeting. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. We have to start out with some business first, so thank you for your patience. Consistent with the governor's orders, this meeting is being conducted in person in the event center and also by utilizing video conferencing. All attendees in the event center will be required to follow current state and county public health guidelines. Please silence all cell phones and other electronic devices, and please do not access Zoom during the live meeting, as it will cause interference with the audio-visual system. Tonight's meeting is also being conducted utilizing video conferencing and electronic means consistent with Assembly Bill 361 and may be viewed on Zoom via the link on the agenda and by live stream on YouTube by entering Agoura Hills City Council meeting in your browser and clicking on the link for December 14th, 2022. Tonight's meeting will not be available live on the city's web stream, but the meeting will be archived for viewing at a later date. And with that, I will defer to our city clerk.
Thank you, Mayor Lopez. Although live public comment via Zoom is not available this evening, there will be an opportunity for the public to speak in person in the event center on any item listed on the agenda by submitting a public comment card to me, the city clerk. Request to speak must be received prior to the mayor closing the public comment portion of the item. Public testimony for all speakers is limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Written public comments will not be read aloud by the city clerk. Any written comments emailed prior to 4 p.m. today were distributed to the city council in advance of the meeting. And just for the record, there were no written public comments and will be included as part of the official record. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. With that, I will call this meeting to order. Last time with the gavel. And I will defer over to my fellow council member, Councilmember Weber.
Thank you, Mayor. It's my pleasure tonight to introduce the President Ronald Reagan Detachment Number 597 of the Marine Corps League for the presentation of the colors.
Time, march. Left, straight. Present, color. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
read cover. Right, straight. Forward, march. You may be seated.
Thank you so much tonight for the presentation of the colors.
Thank you. Okay, we'll now defer to our city clerk for a roll call.
Good evening. Councilmember Buckley Weber.
Here.
Councilmember Sylvester.
Here.
Councilmember Weber.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Anstead.
Here.
Mayor Lopez.
Here.
Mayor Lopez, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, we'll next move on to the approval of our agenda. And so we will ask for someone to make a motion to approve the agenda, and please state your names. Also a second.
Mayor Pro Tem Chris Anstead will make a motion to approve the agenda.
Councilmember Sylvester seconds.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second, and we'll take a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Buckley Weber.
Aye.
Councilmember Sylvester.
Aye.
Councilmember Weber.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Anstead.
Aye.
Mayor Lopez.
Here. Aye. I'm nervous. Here. Aye.
Mayor Lopez, you have approval 5-0.
Got it. think after a year of doing it, you'd get used to it, but you can still get nervous. All right. Before we start tonight, we do have a little bit of city business, and so once again, thank you for your patience. But what we'd first like to do is, of course, welcome you all, and also do a quick introduction of our dignitaries and special guests that are here tonight. So, representing the United States Congresswoman of the 26th District, we've got Micah Moss for the Honorable Congresswoman Julia Brownley. Thank you for being here, Micah. This is a fun one. Representing the California State Senate District 27, we have some guy named Jeremy Wolf. I thought he was here for some other reason, but we'll see how that goes. Representing the California State Senate District 24, we have Davis Hahn for the Honorable State Senator Ben Allen. And if you were here earlier, you might have noticed we have a lot of former mayors here tonight. We had a photo of 18 former mayors tonight. You'll be seeing that on social media. Most of them are still here. We've got Ed Corridori, John Edelston, Bill Kohler, Jack Koenig, Dan Cooperberg, Linda Northrup, Darlene McBain, Fran Pavley, Jeff Reinhardt, Louise Rishoff, Harry Schwartz, and Joan Iacovone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Very special piece of history. Agoura Hills Planning Commissioners, John Asuncion and Murtasa Mogri. Thank you for being here. There he is. From the City of Thousand Oaks, we have Councilmember Bob Engler. There he is. From the Las Virgenes Unified School District, we have a good friend and board member Angela Cutbill. Thank you for being here. Our City Treasurer Bin Zhang. From the Lost Hills Sheriff Station, Captain Jennifer C2. The Greater Conejo Valley Chamber of Commerce, Danielle Borgia. Thank you. Administering the oaths of office, we have our special guest, our city founding member and very first Agoura Hills Mayor, Fran Pavley. And of course, our special guest that led the presentation of colors, the President Ronald Reagan Detachment Number 597 of the Marine Corps League. So thank you for being here to do that. So once again, I would like to take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to all of our attendees this evening, especially our family members and guests of the City Council, and also make a special acknowledgement to our appointed members of the City Advisory Boards, commissions, and committees, including our many city volunteers who serve our community. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Okay. First, we will move to public comments. This section is reserved for in-person attendees wishing to speak on items not listed on the agenda that are under the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. Public testimony is limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and a speaker's time may not be transferred to another speaker. Persons addressing the council shall not engage in disorderly conduct that disrupts or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting. We respectfully request that if you have something to distribute to the council, you hand it to our city clerk, who's back there, and do not approach the dais. I will now defer to our city clerk to see if we have any public comments.
Thank you, Mayor Lopez. No written public comments have been received and no speaker cards have been submitted.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move to one more piece of city business before the good stuff. This is all the good stuff, but okay, this is the approval of our consent calendar. This section is reserved for, first public comment. This section is reserved for in-person attendees wishing to speak on items on the consent calendar. Public testimony is limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and a speaker's time may not be transferred to another speaker. We respectfully request that if you have something to distribute to the council, you once again hand it to our city clerk and do not approach the dais. Ms. Clerk, do we have any public comments for our consent calendar?
Thank you, Mayor Lopez. No written public comments have been received and no speaker cards have been submitted.
Great. Before we move on, does anyone on the council have any questions or would like to pull anything from the consent calendar?
I'd like to comment.
Okay. One comment?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to comment and make a note for the record that I want to thank Bruce Wizen, may he rest in peace, and the entire Wizen family, who is what's on the consent calendar tonight, is he's transferring 5 or 6 parcels of land on Agoura Road as open space to the city of Agoura Hills. We've been working on this for a few years with him. Unfortunately, he passed away, but his kids have followed through with his wishes. So I just wanted to thank the Wizen family for that.
Thank you, council member. Any other questions, comments, anything to pull? Okay, then I'll take a motion and a second, and please state your names.
Councilmember Sylvester makes a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Councilmember Buckley Weber seconds the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Buckley Weber.
Aye.
Councilmember Sylvester.
Aye.
Councilmember Weber.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Anstead.
Aye.
Mayor Lopez.
Aye, and I will
Mayor.
read the 14 consent calendar items. Number 1, approve minutes of the regular city council meeting of May 25th, 2022. Number 2, approve demand warrant register number 883. Number 3, approve treasurer's report for October 2022. Number 4, approve 2023 meeting schedule. Number 5, approve notice of completion with FS Contractors, Inc. for the fiscal year 2022-23 annual concrete repair project NIB 18055. Number 6, approve authorization to purchase walk-on bark from Agroman. Almost there. Number 7, approve authorization to purchase LED light tubes from JTB Supply Company. Number 8, approve agreement for consultant services with Rincon Consultants, Inc. for the preparation of a cultural heritage ordinance. Number 9, approve agreement for contractor services with Spare Labs, Inc. for enhanced transportation services, Dial-A-Ride. Number 10, approve purchase of a 2023 Mercedes Sprinter van from Ray Catena Motor Car Corporation, Edison, New Jersey, for the City of Agoura Hills Emergency Communications Van in the amount of $69,173.33. Number 11, approve customization services with High Quality Custom Design, Inc. for the 2023 Mercedes Sprinter van for the City of Agoura Hills Emergency Communications Van in the estimated range amount of $79.60 to $98.90. Number 12, approve resolution number 22-2026, reciting the fact of the general municipal election held on November 8th, 2022, declaring the result thereof, and such matters as provided by law. Number 13, adopt resolution number 22-2027, amending the compensation plan by increasing the range of the Administrative Intern 1, Administrative Intern 2, Instructor, Office Assistant, Recreation Leader 1, Recreation Leader 2, Recreation Specialist, and Senior Program Instructor in compliance with the 2023 California minimum wage increase to $15.50 per hour, effective December 24th, 2022. And number 14, adopt resolution number 22-2028, approving a donation agreement between the City of Agoura Hills and Creekside Terrace LP, accepting real property APN 2061 032 023 024 025 026 and 027 from Creekside Terrace LP, and authorizing the city manager to execute a certificate of acceptance of said real property and related documents acknowledging donation. This is the fun stuff you get to do when you are mayor. So, Madam Clerk, will you now tell us the tally of that vote?
Thank you, Mayor Lopez. The roll call stands. You have approval 5-0.
Thank you. Okay. Now that we have completed city business and approved the certification of the election results, we can move on to the City Council reorganization portion of the meeting. I'm sure you're all here for the consent calendar, but this is the stuff we also have to do. So we're going to get ready for the good stuff.
How we doing, everybody? I agree. I think that was a little bit long on the minutes, but that's what we have quite a bit, quite often at our city council meetings. But I'm really honored to be here with you tonight. I'm honored to introduce our esteemed Mayor, Deborah Klein-Lopez. As many of you are aware, Mayor Lopez grew up here in Agoura Hills and raised her 3 children here. Her accomplishments as mayor are many. To name just a few, she led the passage of Agoura's first ever climate action plan. She was the opening speaker at the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing groundbreaking ceremony. She led Agoura Hills' 40th anniversary celebration this year. And most notably, she led the reimagining and revamping of the Agoura Hills communication strategy with our residents. So please join me in welcoming Mayor Deborah Klein-Lopez to the podium for her outgoing remarks.
Thank you. Our Mayor Pro Tem just took my speech. That's pretty much everything I wrote. I may embellish a little. Thank you and welcome. It's an honor to be here with all of you today on such a celebratory occasion. 2022 has been an incredible year in so many ways. So to prepare for my remarks for today, I rewatched my incoming mayor's speech from 1 year ago. And in that speech, I highlighted the issues that were important to our city and to our community and to me personally. So let's just do a review and see how we did. So the first thing I spoke about a year ago as my top priority was the need for Agoura Hills to continue to be a leader in addressing our part in climate change. I had mentioned that Agoura Hills, as part of the Clean Power Alliance, had recently moved towards procuring 100% of our energy from renewable, greenhouse gas-free sources. And everyone has an option to go out of that and reduce that, but about 90% of our residents and businesses stayed with Clean Power Alliance, stayed with 100% or close to 100% renewable, and it's had an amazing impact. So in the past 12 months, since we've moved to 100% clean energy procurement, Agoura Hills alone has eliminated approximately 58.8 million pounds of GHG emissions. This is equivalent to planting 480,000 trees or taking 5,700 gas-powered cars off the road. Just our city, just 1 year. So can you imagine what all of our cities are doing together? We're a leader in this field, and it shows you how much one city can have as an impact, and we're definitely a leader in our area. And it ties into our larger environmental goal that we had for 2022. Our city did indeed pass the final version of our Climate Action and Adaptation Plan, which provides a roadmap of how locally we will continue to meet these goals over the next few decades to become a cleaner and more sustainable city. So thanks to this plan, and now as we move into 2023, we are going to be working on an electrification plan. We're already underway with our bicycle master plan, to get people out of cars and safely into bike lanes, and so much more. So I'm proud to have been our mayor as we lead our region in this endeavor. Next, I spoke about the importance of being your advocate and liaison for public health and safety in times of COVID-19. And while this year was much more of a normal year that we faced, we're still facing some challenges, as you know. So at the beginning of the year, the Omicron surge kept us indoors a bit longer, and our meetings were still on Zoom. Many of our events were held outside. But as the vaccines improved and were targeted towards specific variants, we opened up. And in these last few weeks of my term, with COVID, flu, and RSV transmission on the rise, we're not out of the woods yet in 2022. But know that we will continue to be your resource in during these trying times. The next topic I addressed in my mayoral remarks was housing and land use. And of all the issues, this one was the one that turned out to be the biggest of the year. In 2022, the City Council passed and submitted our next 8-year plan of what's known as the housing element, which details how our city can meet the housing growth mandated by the state. And how lucky was I to be mayor and up for re-election during this time. In all honesty, I'm glad I was mayor during this difficult process because it's actually why I ran for office. Not to run for office and do the easy stuff, but to be sitting in this seat and do the hard stuff. To be at the table to do the homework, to learn from our incredible planning and community development department under Denise Thomas, to evaluate and make the best decisions for our town. And since I was mayor and up for re-election, I spoke to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people about this, constantly combating massive misinformation that continues today, educating people with facts of why we make the decisions we do from the dais, in the Acorn, online, and one by one at their doors. So this leads me to the single biggest, most important goal I had as mayor, that I will always have as a council member, the goal to continuously improve our communications. It's been my greatest priority, but during this past year, we reached new heights. I held monthly mayor's tables, first on Zoom, and then we moved outdoors to parks and patios, and finally indoors. I've been the first to host special guests like Beth Pratt from the National Wildlife Federation and Jen Situ, captain of the Lost Hills Sheriff Station. I never wavered on my monthly newsletters with a few particularly long editions on our housing element. I wasn't afraid to tackle misinformation on the wild west of Nextdoor, our favorite platform, and other social media platforms. In 2022, we continued an important priority for our whole council, and that's emergency communications. We installed beacon boxes around town to assist when there's a natural disaster, and we recently launched something called Zone Haven to better streamline our evacuations. And I can't wrap up this topic without a huge shout out to our city's team, especially Erica Diaz and Rocky Shepard, who knocked our communications out of the park this year. We did, as promised at the beginning of the year, clean up and modernize our brand, our graphics, our website, and our outreach. So much so that the city of Agoura Hills beat out cities all across the state to bring home the Best in Show award from the California Association of Public Information Officers. Yeah, amazing team. Last year, the next thing I had discussed was being home to the future of the largest urban wildlife crossing in the world. And wow, we did it. We did it. In April, after decades of scientific research, land acquisitions, and way too many deaths of our mountain lion population, we did break ground on the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing at Liberty Canyon. The eyes of the world were on Agoura Hills as we welcomed dignitaries, activists, and residents to this monumental groundbreaking. And personally, as someone who was raised in Agoura Hills, is a hiker, a nature lover, and happened to work in politics, this event was truly one of the greatest highlights of my public service career. And this week we got some very concerning news about the face of that project, the mountain lion known as P22, as he ages in an ever-shrinking habitat. So as our entire mountain lion population and other species suffer, this crossing can't come soon enough. And I was so proud to hold that shovel and break ground alongside our amazing Public Works Department, and that's led by Jess Forte. The last thing I addressed in my remarks a year ago was that 2022 would be the City of Agoura Hills' 40th anniversary of incorporation, and wow. I promised you a year of celebration to mark this milestone, and boy, did we celebrate. We started off with 40 facts for 40 years, unveiling a few nuggets of history at every council meeting and online. We weaved the 40-year theme through everything throughout the year, solidifying what those of us who grew up in the 80s already know, that it was the greatest decade ever. We culminated the celebration with an insane October, Reyes Adobe Days, One City, One Book, State of the City, our 40th birthday party. I mean, this was all brought to you with the amazing Community Services Department under Amy Brink's leadership, and they really brought it home. They really brought it home. It was truly a dream for me. As I like to say, I not only grew up in Agoura Hills, but I grew up with Agoura Hills. So I'll add a few words about my reelection. With my Planning Commission appointment and soon-to-be council member Jeremy Wolf, where are you? You're not there yet. Jeremy and I together knocked on over 4,500 doors, which I can confidently say is a record breaker for Agoura Hills. I know that Councilmember-elect Wolf is going to talk more about this, and you'll hear a lot of lovely words about our incoming council member, but I just want to say quickly, Jeremy, I am so incredibly proud and honored to have been by your side through the great conversations, through the difficult conversations, and through everything in between. You worked so hard, you deserve this win, and I cannot wait to serve alongside you. So Jeremy was running for the first time and had to work really hard to get his name out. I was an incumbent and the mayor, so I probably didn't have to work as hard as I did, but I did. I didn't just sit back. I didn't assume that I would be reelected. I didn't take anything for granted. I worked hard to speak with as many residents as possible, to get to know every neighborhood again, to truly listen to all of the issues around town. I knocked in 2018 and I did it again in 2022 because it has and it will make me a better council member. So thank you to the residents of Agoura Hills for not only re-electing me, but for choosing me as the top vote getter for the second time. It is my honor to serve you for another 4 years. And I cannot mention elections without saying that our city is so blessed to have Kimberly Rodriguez holding our hand and keeping us calm and keeping us in line. So thank you, Kimberly. I want to give some additional thanks. Have to thank my fellow council members, past and incoming. It was really a pleasure, especially tonight, to be here with you all. I can't say enough about our staff. I could stand here for hours and tell you how wonderful they are. But I want to give a special shout out to our city manager, Nate Hamburger, and our assistant city manager, Ramiro Adeva, for their incredible work ethic during this jam-packed year. And don't worry, Nate, I'm still going to keep my Nate notes on my phone, and when everything comes up, I just add it to those Nate notes. You don't want to be on those Nate notes. Still going to have those Nate notes. I have to thank my family for their patience and love during this exhausting year. So a year ago, my son was here to help me get sworn in, and my girls were not here. And this year, my girls are here, and my son is not here. So he's on a flight. We'll be together later tonight, but I just want to thank you all for being here, my mom, my dad, and obviously you can't do something like this without the love and support of your family, so I have to say thank you to you all. And of course to the residents of Agoura Hills for allowing me this honor of a lifetime. So in summary, as I've said many times, the mayor is the face of our city. Through celebrations like the 40th or the wildlife crossing, and through the tougher times like COVID variants or an extremely complicated housing element, I hope you feel I've led you through this past year, as I promised a year ago, with integrity, transparency, and with great pride for our town. I closed my comments last year with this quote, and I'll do it again. It's an honor and a privilege to be mayor of your town, but it's a double blessing to be mayor of the town you grew up in, the town that has shaped you. Once again, thank you for entrusting me to serve in this very meaningful way for the past year. I look forward to 2023 and beyond.
Thank you, Mayor Lopez, for your hard work and dedication to our community. There are several organizations that are here tonight that would like to recognize you for your service. I'd like to actually start representing the Lost Hills Sheriff Station, Captain Jennifer C2. And actually, I want to say a comment about Captain C2 before she comes up. She was on the front lines during the fires. She was a true leader in our community, and she was not the captain of the Lost Hills Sheriff Station at that time. And I just want you all to give her a round of applause as she comes up for her hard work. Thank you.
Okay, right here. Debbie, Miss Mayor, so my curly-haired sister. It has been, we worked together in 2019, we worked together for a couple years before that, and it just is an absolute pleasure to be back. I came back in May, and you were one of the first to welcome me back, and from then we just partnered together. And one thing that I just really appreciate about you is you reached out to me and said, okay, we're gonna do a mayor's and captain's table. And it was just the best time with the community. Like, I really enjoy, what I enjoy about you is you're so into the community, whether it's good things or bad things. You don't mind to be front and center and hear the bad comments, hear the good comments, and work on it together as a team. And really that meeting at the ice cream shop, which thank you for having it at the ice cream shop, I appreciate that. It was just so fun, just meeting the residents, sitting with them, and really dissecting what the issues are and partnering together. And that was just so much fun. And I just really thank you for your leadership. As a prior resident, I just moved out of Agoura Hills about a year ago, and I love you guys and I miss you guys. But as a prior resident, I just really appreciate your leadership and in a community that I love dearly. So on behalf of the LA County Sheriff's Department, may I give you this?
Absolutely.
I would like to present you with this plaque.
Thank you.
And this badge does not get you out of jail, but it's
Doesn't get me out of
just
tickets, speeding tickets?
No, not
No?
speeding tickets either.
Okay.
But it's to represent our love to you and your leadership. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up, we have representing the U.S. Congress, Micah Moss for the Honorable Congressman Julia Brownlee.
Good evening. My name is Micah Moss, and on behalf of Congresswoman Julia Brownlee, I would like to recognize Mayor Deborah Klein-Lopez and Councilmember Dennis Weber for their remarkable service to the city of Agoura Hills. Congresswoman Brownlee has often said that it is her greatest privilege to represent the people of California's 26th Congressional District, which will now include the city of Agoura Hills when Congress convenes for the 118th Congress next month. She has worked to move our communities forward and to do all that she can to improve the lives of all of her constituents, and she looks forward to continuing that work in partnership with all of you. You have helped maintain and expand the very aspects of the city that make Agoura Hills a truly desirable place to live, work, and to raise a family. I would know I'm from Agoura Hills. The Congresswoman extends her sincere appreciation to Councilmember Weber for his service to the residents of Agoura Hills. For his contributions to the city, I am pleased to present Councilmember Weber with a certificate of congressional recognition on behalf of the Congresswoman. She also congratulates Mayor Deborah Klein-Lopez and Mayor Pro Tem Chris Anstead on their recent re-elections, and she is also very pleased to welcome Jeremy Wolf to the City Council. Congresswoman Brownlee looks forward to working with all of you, including Councilmember Elise Buckley Weber, Councilmember Penny Sylvester, to best serve the residents of this great city in the years to come. Thank you.
Next up, we have representing the California State Senate, Jeremy Wolf, for the Honorable Senator Henry Stern.
Hello, everybody. You're going to be hearing from me shortly, but right now I am here on behalf of State Senator Henry Stern. And something interesting about Debbie and Senator Henry Stern was that Debbie was Henry's first campaign employee, and she also worked in our district office for a few years. And looking around here, it's wild. We have about, I think, 10 to 15 former Stern staffers, so it's so great to be here. But on behalf of the senator, we want to present you a certificate of recognition for your term as mayor, from kicking off the wildlife corridor to bringing the 40th anniversary of the city. You're the real deal. Unfortunately, we're being redistricted, but you're going to be in really capable hands with Senator Allen's office. But on behalf of the state of California and State Senator Henry Stern, we want to present you this certificate.
The funny thing is I could have totally made that certificate for myself like a couple years ago with just putting in whatever I wanted.
Next, also representing the California State Senate, Davis Hand, for the Honorable Senator Bill Allen.
Well, I'm just relieved that we have a certificate that looks slightly different from than the one from Senator Stern's office. Good evening, everyone. Davis Hahn with Senator Ben Allen's office, who as of last Monday is very proud to now represent Agoura Hills in the California State Senate. And on behalf of Senator Allen, we just want to thank Mayor Lopez for her incredible steady hand of leadership during these difficult times over the past year, particularly for your work charting a more sustainable future for Agoura and for our state. That's something very near and dear to his heart as chair of the Senate's Environmental Quality Committee. So thank you for your tireless dedication on behalf of the city, Senate District 24, in the state of California, and we would also love to present you with this certificate.
Next, we have representing the city of Thousand Oaks, someone I like to call my friend, Councilmember Bob Engler. Great to see you, Bob.
Mayor Lopez, so nice to see you again. As the council member now, I'm the newest former mayor in the area, and I wanted to welcome you to the Former Mayor Club. It's happy to have you as part of our group. So, you know, as I came down the road, I had to cross over this line in the road that separates Agoura Hills from Thousand Oaks area, the county line, and some say it separates us. But our two cities have so much in common. We face the same challenges, we face the same problems that we all need to look at. And as I looked over that line this year, you were able to really do some great things. The wildlife crossing, what an accomplishment. Love that. Your approach to your housing plan, I thought that you guys did a great job in this. And then finally, as a former firefighter, all the work you did for preparedness for disaster, I admired that. So thank you so much for everything you've done. I'm happy to present this certificate on behalf of the City Council and the Mayor of Thousand Oaks.
Next, we have representing the Las Virgenes Unified School District, Board Member Angela Cutbill.
Thank you. On the school board, we have 4 cities. We're not supposed to have favorites, but As a 28-year resident of Agoura Hills, I think I can confess that indeed I do. The reason I do not have anything to present formally to Mayor Clyde Lopez is that the district has a tradition of doing a formal proclamation when a council member leaves the council or retires. And I'm very happy to say you're not going anywhere. So I have nothing for you, quite happily. It has been a great year, and we so appreciate and love our relationship between the city and the school district. And my good friend, we can talk over all the issues and resolve things, and I am so proud of the year that you have led Agoura.
Representing the Greater Conejo Valley Chamber of Commerce, President, CEO Daniela Borgia.
Good evening, Mayor. You are so passionate about this city, and that passion extends to our business community. And you were one of the first ones to pick up a camera during the pandemic and really, promote our shop local message to make sure that our businesses were, being supported by our community members. And I have great respect for that about you. You wear your passion on your sleeve. And I wrote a bunch about your communications. I didn't know you were going to focus so much on that because I really did enjoy your newsletter. And it was so informative, and it was, ranging everything from really complex issues to community events and everything in between. And it really gives a really good overview of what's going on in the city for both residents and businesses alike. And so on behalf of our board and our businesses here in Agoura Hills, we just want to thank you for such a stellar year and bringing the governor of our state here to the wildlife crossing. It was such a tremendous celebration, and you should be very proud of your year.
Next, we have from Supervisor Lindsay Horvath's office, Tessa. And Tessa, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name. I can't remember. Charnowski, okay.
Charnowski, it's phonetic.
You got it. Sounds good.
So I am representing Lindsay Horvath on an interim basis, and I do not have a certificate for you because we were between supervisors, but I'm sure you'll get one eventually. They are beautiful. There are beautiful certificates. So, Debbie, I absolutely love working with you, and if I was thinking about adjectives for you, and I thought of a few: brilliant, logical, passionate, hardworking, compassionate. Someone said something about your newsletters, and I actually read them word for word. I think they go through in great detail what the average citizen needs to know about government. And I get clues about what you guys are doing and the events I need to go to, which has been great. So I love that. Your focus on environment is laudable, and I'm so happy that the supervisor's office always has an ally on environmental issues here in Agoura Hills. And then finally, for the COVID-19 pandemic, whenever we have these Department of Public Health telebriefings, and I always know you're going to be on asking a question, and it's always a good question for your residents of Agoura Hills, because you always care about public health, public safety, and the well-being of citizens, and I love working with you, and I'm so glad I'll continue to do that. Very good.
So in addition, I would like to present the following on behalf of representatives that were unable to attend the meeting this evening. First up, okay, take it one at a time. Okay. First up, a certificate from Congressman Ted Lieu, the 33rd District. Next, a certificate from Assembly Member Jackie Irwin, District 42. and a scroll from the Los Angeles County Fire Department that will be delivered at a later date. Unfortunately, we don't have it here with us. You got it? Mayor Lopez, also on behalf of the City Council staff and staff, I would like to present to you a couple tokens of our appreciation. Okay, I'll let you hold them and then I will announce them. The first is actually a framed poster from the groundbreaking ceremony from the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing. And the second is a 40th anniversary themed gift basket with a scroll of the 40 facts for 40 years, several framed event photos, and a few specialty food and beverage items from our local Agoura Hills businesses, including a gift certificate from La Merch Indian Restaurant. Awesome. No problem, thank you.
Wow, that was a lot. And when you're mayor during a redistricting, you get double the fun with the certificates. Okay, give me 1 second. I have to figure out where we are.
I think I have us.
Are you next?
Klein Lopez.
Are you
Yes,
next?
So I would like to call for any council comments to that
Oh.
Mayor.
I'd like to go if you wouldn't mind. Well, now I can call you Debbie instead of Mayor Lopez. Listen, I've enjoyed the last 4 years working with you, Debbie. It's been a lot of fun, and I have to congratulate you on your term as mayor. You're always prepared. You run a great meeting, as I told you before many times. But I think what I really embrace and love the most about our meetings that you had, even though they were rather lengthy, some of them, was what you took such pride in showcasing the 40 years and these little vignettes that you shared with us. They were funny, nostalgic, and they meant a lot to me. I've lived here like 37 years now, and it was really meaningful. So I want to congratulate you, and God bless you on your next 4 years, and be well, and you and your family all the best.
Thank you.
Although we've only just worked for a couple of months together, I'm looking forward to the next 4. Well, I hope I'll be here for 4.
Oh, you better be.
And thank you for being such a wonderful leader. And I'm glad you're going to still be here with us. Thank you.
I don't know where to start. I'll start with the easy one. You've been an outstanding mayor. You've shown great leadership. You know a lot of people. Debbie and I got to go to Washington, D.C. together last year, and she met our senator on the airplane, and it was just, you know, easy peasy after that. He remembered her, and we just had a great trip, and we worked really well together, and I thank you for your leadership, and I think I had no doubt, no matter how much you were telling me stuff, that you were going to win this re-election, and I'm very excited that you did, and I'm so glad that you've joined the council in the first place, and took it, you know, took your leadership as mayor seriously, and was out and about in town, and that's a big job of the mayor. So thank you for all of that, and I look forward to another few years.
Thank you. Listen, Shay?
And I've already said a couple comments up at the podium, but I also want to say I've enjoyed working with you, and I look forward to working with you going forward in the next couple years. Going forward. So,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to come back up here. Just a very quick but meaningful recognition of our outgoing council member, Dennis Weber. Dennis Weber has served on our council for 29 years, and it's a record that is broken and I think will stay in perpetuity a very long time. And I just want you all to know that we did have a special recognition That was held on November 9th, 2022, in honor of Councilmember Dennis Weber, where we had the same, very many of the same dignitaries come and really express their gratitude to Dennis. I could do it all over again. It would be about another 2 hours and would result in many, many tears from Dennis Weber again. So we're not going to do that, but one last time, I would like to give a round of applause and thanks to our outgoing council member, Dennis Weber. We might have gotten a couple tears out of that. So now it is with great, great pride that I would like to invite our council member-elect, Jeremy Wolf, to join the City Council and take his seat at the dais. First up, I think Councilmember Buckley Weber is going to step up next.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I can say that one more time. I'm very proud tonight to be here and to be able to, in recognition of the city's 40th anniversary, to introduce Fran Pavley. She's the city's first mayor, and she will be administering the oath of office to our re-elected council members, Deborah Klein-Lopez, Chris Anstead, and our newly elected council member, Jeremy Wolf. Although most of you know Fran, let me give you a brief introduction. Initially, I wrote 6-7 pages all about Fran's history. I did some research, and I just was incredibly impressed with her environmental championship, and I decided tonight that I would take that out, and that because I know Fran so well, she's the first one who would say that tonight is about incoming member Jeremy Wolf and about our local city council. So I'm not going to talk about her the bills that she got signed by 3 different governors that were acknowledged by President Obama. We're going to put that all aside, and I'll tell you a little bit about Fran that has to do with Agoura Hills. In the late 70s and 80s, she was an activist pushing for the incorporation of the city of Agoura Hills, stopping the construction of a prison, and halting the building of Carpinteria. She was a full-time teacher, married, and the parent of 2, and still found the time to take on the County of Los Angeles. She served 4 terms on the City Council and then moved on to 3 terms in the California State Assembly, followed by 2 terms in the California State Center, always representing the city of Agoura Hills. Fran has been instrumental in the efforts to save open space in our region, such as King Gillette Ranch, Amundsen Ranch, Chesbro Meadow, and recently the Cornerstone property on Agoura Road. She has also led the way on the wildlife crossing over the 101. Fran has been a personal mentor to me. Whenever I have sought her advice, and that's been often, she is never short of ideas and answers and never too busy to meet with me or get me on the phone. She knows my fellow council members all really well, especially the re-elected ones, and the new member, Jeremy Wolf, who is Fran is a Liberty Canyon resident, so is Jeremy. Jeremy even worked for Fran at one point. They've worked closely together with Henry Stern's office, and they've known each other for years. So this is extremely special to have her as our first mayor, swearing in Jeremy Wolf. We're proud and lucky to have Fran as a resident of our city and a true partner in all issues facing Agoura Hills. Please welcome the woman who got this city going, the city of Agoura Hills' first mayor, Fran Pavley.
know. Let me, would you like them staying at their table or coming over here? It's up to you. That will work. Thank you very much. Pleasure for me to be here. Every 40 years, I like to come out and do this. And thank you very much, Elise, for that too long of introduction. You're right. I don't think they're here to hear a biography of myself, but aren't we here to celebrate this new city council? So let's get that, make that official. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. A little louder. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of California. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance. To the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of California. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation. Or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge. The duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Thank you, Fran.
Now it's time for the newly elected council member remarks. And first, I would like to introduce Jeremy. Jeremy grew up in this community. He's a product of the Las Virgenes Unified School District and a proud Agoura High Charger. Tonight, Jeremy sets a new record in our city's history as the youngest member to serve on the Agoura Hills City Council. 10 years ago, Jeremy volunteered to take the lead in the city's annual creek cleanup. And he had no idea where that was leading at the time, but we're thrilled he did it. And he's kept going ever since. In 2014, Jeremy successfully advocated for a city resolution urging businesses to stop using or selling anticoagulant rodenticides to protect the precious wildlife populations we live alongside. He also worked with community leaders to save the Chesborough Meadow, now called the Fran Pavley Meadow. This open space is now protected against future development so it can continue to be a local natural treasure for generations to come. Jeremy worked as the district director for State Senator Henry Stern, overseeing an office that serves nearly 1 million people. So you're a little small now. Amongst his accomplishments, Jeremy helped secure key state funding to save Triangle Ranch and to build the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing at Liberty Canyon. He worked to increase education around wildfire protection efforts and to support people and businesses throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Jeremy led Senator Stern's office's effort to guide local businesses through the federal loan application process and worked to help thousands of Conejo Valley, San Fernando Valley, and Ventura County residents get the unemployment benefits they were entitled to receive. He knows how government can work to help people when they need it most. I served alongside Jeremy on the Agoura Hills Planning Commission, so I know firsthand that he has sound knowledge of the policies related to planning, land use regulation, and community development. His focus is maintaining and improving the quality of life for those who call Agoura Hills home. Jeremy, first of all, thank you. I'm no longer the newbie on the council, and we welcome your fresh vision and the energy you will bring.
So I know it's getting late, so I'll make sure to keep it relatively short. And I didn't know that I was going to have my whole bio, so everyone got a little bit of background. But I'm so honored to be speaking to you all as the newest and, as mentioned, youngest city council member in Agoura Hills history. As I've mentioned before, sorry, Fran, I'm beating you by only 2 years. I wouldn't be standing up here without the support of so many of you, and I want to start by thanking Senator Pavley. To have you swear me in is such an honor. As an intern in your office many years ago, I realized I wanted to dedicate my life to public service, and I can't thank you enough for all you've done for our planet, for our city, and for me personally. So thank you so much for everything. I want to thank my parents and family who are watching this via live stream. I love you, miss you here tonight, but I know you're watching. I want to thank my amazing friends and supporters who came out tonight. It means so much to me. And the biggest and most important thank you is to my fiance, Sarah, for her endless love and support. Thank you. To my fellow council members, I am so lucky to get to serve with such a talented and dedicated group of public servants. I've known all of you for many years, and we have worked together and served our city successfully. I know we will continue to faithfully serve our city and get things done together for the benefit of Agoura Hills residents. Mayor Pro Tem Anstead, it has been a privilege to know you and work with you all these years. I've seen just how dedicated you are to our city and to helping its residents. I'm wishing you great success in helping to lead our city in the future, in the coming year. Councilmember Elise Buckley Weber, you have been a role model to me and the first person I reached out to when I had more hair, and I also had an idea of wanting to get involved in public service, and you helped set me on this path. As Councilmember Sylvester said, 10 years ago, she reached out to me about organizing a creek cleanup event. 10 years later, and with the tremendous help from the City of Agoura Hills and thousands of volunteers, this yearly event is responsible for removing more than 40,000 pounds of trash from our creeks and our waterways, and I couldn't be more proud, and I'm excited to keep that going. So thank you for helping set me on this path. Councilmember Sylvester, serving on the Planning Commission with you demonstrated how committed you are to our city. You attend every meeting in the city with enthusiasm, and you are such a great addition to this council. And to my dear friend, and I think the last time you will be addressed as this, Mayor Klein Lopez, you have been a mentor and a friend. Together, during the campaign, we walked every neighborhood in the city, talking to thousands of residents, and you showed me what it takes to be a great public servant. You've been an outstanding mayor, and your devotion to the people of Agoura Hills and your passion for public service is inspiring. I learned so much from you, and I'm beyond excited to get to serve together on the City Council. So, as we celebrate the 40th birthday of the City of Agoura Hills, we are facing multiple challenges. A changing climate, prolonged drought, the continued impacts of COVID-19, and an uncertain economic forecast being just a few. Balancing our small-town charm and our rural character with incoming state mandates and new laws and regulations will continue to be a balancing act. However, I am confident we will work together to address these issues to ensure Agoura Hills is always set up to succeed. I am committed to creating new housing opportunities in the city while working to protect our open space and preparing for natural disasters. I often quote this, but according to FEMA, Los Angeles County is the most disaster-prone county in the nation. That's right here where we are. So it is so critical that we continue to prepare the city and its residents for the next possible natural disaster. And protecting and preserving our environment is what got me involved in public service, and it will always be a top priority. I look forward to working with the council and staff to implement creative, nature-based solutions. It's also important to ensure that our wildlife neighbors are both able to survive and thrive. And I will continue to make that as a priority when I'm on the City Council. It is essential that we take all possible steps to protect biodiversity in our city and in our region. After all, Agoura Hills will soon be home to the world's largest urban wildlife crossing and a model for green infrastructure and wildlife connectivity throughout the world. So I couldn't be more proud to be a part of that. It's also crucial that Agoura Hills remain a vibrant and exciting place to visit and recreate. It's something I'm really passionate about, and I look forward to supporting our local businesses because they truly are the lifeblood of our city. I love Agoura Hills. This community has given me so much, and I'm ecstatic that I get to serve on this amazing city council. I can't wait to hit the ground running to serve the residents of this amazing city. Working together over the next 4 years, I can't wait to bring my passion, my vision, and my enthusiasm to this council. So thank you to the staff for putting together this amazing event, and thank you all for coming out tonight. It means so much, and let's get to work.
Thank you and welcome. Okay. All right, in my final act as mayor, we are going to now do the election of the new mayor. So at this time, I would like to call for nominations for the mayor of the city of Agoura Hills.
Council Member Sylvester nominates Chris Anstead.
Council Member Wolf seconds.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to nominate Chris Anstead as mayor. And if there are no other nominations, then I will ask our city clerk I'll defer to our city clerk for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Buckley Weber? Aye. Councilmember Sylvester?
Aye.
Councilmember Wolf?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Anstead? Aye. Mayor Lopez?
Aye.
You have approval 5-0.
Congratulations, Mayor Anstead.
So at this time, I would like to actually now call nominations for Mayor Pro Tem. Are there any nominations?
I would like to nominate my good friend, Councilmember Elise Buckley Weber.
And I'll second that nomination.
Awesome. So we have 2 nominations to nominate Elise Buckley Weber as Mayor Pro Tem. I will defer to the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Buckley Weber? Aye. Councilmember Lopez?
Aye.
Councilmember Sylvester?
Aye.
Councilmember Wolf?
Aye.
Mayor Anstead?
Aye.
Mayor Anstead, you have approval 5-0.
Thank you.
I'd like to invite Fran Pavley up to the stage again to help with swearing in our mayor and mayor pro tem.
It's the same most. I hope you were paying attention.
I was thinking about that when you were doing it before.
All right. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Elise Buckley Weber.
Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of California, against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem. At this time, I just want to give one more congratulations to our new mayor, and we're going to call him up and ask for some comments. I just want to say that Mayor Anstead and I both ran in 2018, and we were elected on a Tuesday. The borderline shooting happened on Wednesday, and the Woolsey fire happened on Thursday. So to say that we started out our service to Agoura Hills, quite literally feet to the fire is no understatement. It's been an honor to serve with you, and being mayor is a very special moment in time, and I know you'll serve Agoura Hills well. So with that, I would like to introduce our incoming mayor, Chris Anstead.
Thank you. I think they have the mayor go or the new mayor go last to see if I can keep you occupied here at the end of the meeting. And so I actually look forward to talking to everyone, and I want to actually thank everyone for coming tonight. And I actually also, Debbie, I just have to say I've enjoyed giving you all the gifts tonight, and I think that's a great for the new incoming mayor to do that for the outgoing mayor. So that was a pleasure, and thank you again for your hard work as mayor. So again, it's great to see everyone here this evening. I want to give a special welcome also to all our current and former elected leaders that are here. I especially also want to thank, and I know she's been thanked before, but I want to give a personal thank to our first mayor and state senator, Fran Pavley, for being here tonight and swearing us in. Thank you again for doing that. I appreciate it. And I also want to recognize my friend and fellow council member, Dennis Weber, that served 29 years on the city council here. I think, is it 7 times mayor, or how many times mayor? Not count. So truly, that feat will never be beat, and I really enjoyed serving with you, Dennis, and thank you very much again for all your hard work on the city council and for preserving the city. And I'm honored that my fellow city council members have given me this opportunity to lead our city. I have enjoyed my experience as a city council member over the last 4 years and getting to know all of you and our hardworking city staff. We are lucky to have our city manager, Nate Hamburger, who has done an excellent job over the last 2 years here with us too. So thank you, Nate. And lastly, I've got to mention having the youngest city council member ever in Agoura Hills. It could not be a better person than Jeremy Wolf. And welcome, Jeremy. Really, really welcome. So I look forward to working with you on many things. So unlike Debbie, I actually did not grow up here in Agoura Hills. I'm fairly new. I've lived here for 15 years with my family, and I raised my young daughters here. I'm a proud father of my 2 daughters, Ashley and Lindsay. They both attended our amazing public schools here in Agoura Hills. I'm also a proud husband to my beautiful wife, Wendy, who's here with us tonight, and she's a dedicated and hardworking teacher in our Las Virgenes school district. Thank you, Wendy, for everything. And my values have been heavily shaped by my parents. Unfortunately, they weren't able to be here tonight, but they're on the Zoom, and so they'll be seeing this. But I want to talk a little bit about them because I want you to understand the perspective of where I'm coming from. So my father is named Harry Anstead. He's the youngest of 6 children, and he was raised by a single mother in the projects in Jacksonville, Florida. He put himself through college, law school, and practiced law for many years. He later would become Florida's 50th Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court, and he became one of the key decision makers in choosing the President of the United States in the 2000 election. My mother is also a dedicated public servant who taught middle school and served as the first woman on the local college board of trustees. She would later attend law school and become an advocate for troubled children. My parents' sacrifice and public service were the biggest factors in my life, or have been the biggest factors in my life. And actually, I would like a round of applause for all the things that they've done for me as well. So thank you. Their sacrifice and public service were the biggest factors in my decision to attend West Point and serve our country as an Army officer. I would serve during our first war in Iraq, Desert Storm, but I was never deployed overseas. After the war ended in 1991, I left active duty and started a career in the biotech and pharmaceutical business. Along the way, I would attend law school at the University of Florida and business school at Cornell University. My family and I moved to Agoura Hills in 2007 after I was recruited to work for Amgen. When we were looking for a place to settle, Agoura Hills seemed like the perfect place. It had great schools, lots of wide open spaces, parks, and it was framed by the Santa Monica Mountains. As my children grew up here, they would affectionately refer to Agoura as, quote, the bubble, because everything always seems perfect in Agoura Hills. After living in Agoura for a couple of years, I wanted to give back and become involved in the community. I was lucky to have Mayor Pro Tem Lise Buckley Weber appoint me to the Agoura Hills Planning Commission. I would later decide to run for City Council, which actually took me 3 times before being elected in 2018. So I would say to anybody that's run for City Council before, perseverance eventually does pay off. So many people in Agoura got to know me over the years from either walking door to door during my campaigns, or many others saw me out on the street corner of Canaan and Thousand Oaks Boulevard, where I stood on the corner for about a month trying to let residents get to know who I was. And that was actually before all the rallies and everything in 2020. So I think I was a trailblazer on the corner. So, but I enjoyed that. As a matter of fact, one of the meetings that we had recently, a woman came forward and was talking to us about things, and she said, just want to thank you for being out there on the street corner during the election. So that was the first thing she remembered about me, and I'm proud to kind of have worked hard to do that, to show the residents that I would work hard for them as a city council person. So since being elected in 2018, our city's had to deal with many hardships, including fires, flooding, and COVID. Our city council has worked to ensure that our residents in our city survive these events and even thrived. The city council has addressed many diverse issues over the last 4 years, including housing, traffic, and the environment, to name just a few. On every vote, I've always had the interest of our residents as my #1 priority. As mayor, I want to ensure Agoura Hills continues to be a safe and enjoyable place to live. Therefore, my focus over the next year will be on the safety and well-being of our residents. This will not be a big shift from our current practices or priorities, and should help strengthen the city's partnerships with our law enforcement, schools, and homeowners associations and local businesses. Agoura Hills is proud to have one of our own currently leading the Malibu Sheriff Station, Captain Jennifer Situ. Captain Situ was one of the leaders that I mentioned earlier who led the emergency response during the Woolsey fire. I look forward to working closely with her to ensure the safety of our residents. Our children's safety is also a top priority. I will work closely with our school board and our superintendent of schools, Dan Stepanowski, to ensure our children are safe on campus and while traveling to and from school. This will require the city to have an increased focus on our roadways and pedestrian crossings. Luckily, our city has been working on a bike master plan, which I expect to be approved and implemented this year. This plan will help ensure all residents are safe while walking or biking to school and around town. I also look forward to addressing traffic issues on our city streets with my fellow city council members. This includes collaborating with the state to move forward with plans to upgrade the interchange at Canaan Road. To ensure the city council is aware of any issues affecting the safety and well-being of our residents, I will continue the tradition of holding regular mayor's roundtables with our residents. I plan to go one step further and work closer with our homeowners associations and local businesses to help identify any needed improvements in infrastructure or services. Lastly, but not least, I want to ensure our residents feel a sense of community after dealing with COVID and the isolation issues that has brought many of our residents. Therefore, I will put an emphasis on enhancing our parks, facilities, and programs. Our recreation and events team is led by Amy Brink and Nick Newkirk. They have done a fantastic job of keeping our residents engaged during COVID. I want to ensure they have all the resources needed to enhance our residents' well-being and build a sense of pride and community. Agoura Hills is a beautiful city and with wide open spaces. I've enjoyed serving on the environmental subcommittee with Mayor Pro Tem Buckley Weber. I'm proud to have helped draft and look forward to implementing Agoura Hills' first ever climate action plan. You got it. You clap for that. You got it. Agoura Hills is approximately 8 miles with about 1/3 of it open spaces. As our first mayor, Fran Pavlia, said, it's no accident that Agoura Hills is surrounded by open space. Former city council members and many community leaders have been responsible for ensuring this open space is not developed. Some of these community leaders include individuals that are here tonight: Jess Thomas, Phil Ramuno, Ron Trincati, and Pat McGregor that's sitting right here in the front. I'd like to actually recognize all of them for their advocacy. If they could please stand up. Pat, can you stand up? Thank you. You got it. You got it. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. However, one person that many would call out as being a leader and advocating and securing our much-loved open spaces is actually Mary Weisbrock. She's the president of Save Open Space. No other individual has worked as hard as Mary to ensure the beauty of our city. Thank you, Mary. Please stand. Thank you. Thank you, Mary, for all your hard work. Thank you, Mary. Agoura Hills is truly the gateway to the Santa Monica Mountains. We should consider ourselves lucky to be the stewards of this beautiful natural habitat and help preserve it for generations to come. John Losing, the editor of our local newspaper, summed up our city best by stating, quote, "We are lucky to live in a community with clean parks, historical neighborhoods, well-maintained streets, and competent, solvent government that looks out for the people's best interest. I am honored to serve the residents of the city as your mayor, and I promise to do my part to help ensure the Agoura Hills residents live the good life. I thank you all for being here. Thank you very much." Thank you. Before we adjourn this meeting, I would like to thank everyone for attending and extend an invitation to join the City Council for a dessert reception in the lobby. The regular City Council meeting of December 28, 2022 has been canceled. The next regular City Council meeting is scheduled for 6 p.m. on Wednesday, January 11th, 2023 in the council chambers of the Civic Center. At this time, we will adjourn tonight's meeting. Will the maker of the motion to adjourn please state your name?
Council Member Sylvester makes a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Council Member Wolf seconds.
Defer to the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Sylvester.
Aye.
Councilmember Wolf.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Buckley Weber.
Aye.
Mayor Anstead.
Aye.
Mayor Anstead, you have approval 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you all again. Thank you all again.